As crafters, we know that when we create those beautiful dimensional flowers, it's great to have many different sizes and styles to create those beautiful bouquets. Today I'm here to share how you can create these beautiful one-of-a-kind climbing clematis. We'll add them to a lattice background, add it with a little birdhouse to have this cute little collection of flowers that I think you'll really love. Join me and we'll have some fun learning these tips and techniques together. To get started, we're going to use the Clematis stamp and die set. Within this die set, you have 3 different sizes, and you can stamp multiple sizes at one time, plus you have the coordinating leaves. There is a die that cuts all of these out, so you can do the quick and easy die cutting. And then we've got the shaping mold that makes that you don't have to shape it yourself, and it gives some really beautiful dimensions. So to get started, the very first thing we're gonna do is we're going to color these beautiful clematis. Now, if you aren't familiar with these, they have a beautiful dark stripe in the center if you wanna do the more, the clematis looking flower. Now, what I'm gonna do is just start out with the sponge dauber. I'm going to use the cactus flower, and we're going to call what I call a striping effect. So we're just gonna go ahead and use the tip of the dauber and fade upward, really utilizing the design in the center. So it's just a quick and easy way to color the clematis, and it still looks like you spend a lot of time with it, which I absolutely love. Now, keep in mind, you can do the traditional clematis looking flower, but as you're creating this, you're gonna be able to also shape it many different ways to create very different flowers. The clematis flower, we typically do single layer, but they are also designed that you can do different flowers and layer them together with same sizes or different sizes. I'm going back and adding just a little bit of the vibrant fuchsia over the top to just get a little bit of an enhanced light pink in the background, so it just kind of fades out on those petals. So you have a really beautiful shaded flower very quickly and easily. And then the next thing, after you've done that, I like to add a little bit of the vivid chartreuse just in the center to accent that flower with a little pop of that green. And you've got that colored. So it's very beautiful, vibrant, and it's ready to be shaped. To shape the flowers, you can quickly and easily add them to the shaping mold. Now with the clematis, I have them stamped side up. You can also do it stamped side down, so you get to choose. Now with this mold, it does the shaping for you, so you have the same beautiful flower design every single time, plus you can add those leaves in there for quick and easy texture. So just go ahead, mist your flower just a little bit, and put that lid on, run that through the machine. Oops, I flipped the lid the wrong way. Let's do it this way. It's the only thing with the mold that's something that you have to watch for, is just that you match it up properly. Then put that between your 2 plates, and we'll run that through the machine, and that just squeezes it and makes that it shapes it for you. So just in a matter of minutes, you have these beautiful flowers you've colored all shaped and ready to add those stamens and glitter and finishing touches. So when this comes out, as you can see, that just squeezes it very beautifully. So if you want to have those petals go in, you'll have it stamped side up. If you want to have them the opposite direction, you will place them stamped side down. So you can get very different, unique flower just based on how you shape those. To add the stamens, we're going to use from the white bridal pack, we're going to add a little bit of color using the vivid chartreuse. Now I picked about 3 strands of this stamen for the largest flower. Now you'll adjust it as you go smaller. I use a wire. You can just use a thin fluorescent wire, so you kind of have like that needle and thread effect. You'll just bend this in half. Then you're gonna go ahead and use your paper piercer and just pop a hole in the center. So it's a very quick, easy flower. And you can really adjust the dimension of this flower, and this is what's so unique about it, is you can do one dimension to have that traditional clematis look. You can have the petals come up like this, or you can have them curved backward. Now once this comes up, all you're gonna do is just go ahead and pop a little bit of that hot glue in there to hold those guys in place. And we'll just bring this up a little bit. We'll pull those petals up a little bit more. And you have this beautiful clematis created very quickly. To create and assemble this card, we're going to use some of the main background image in the Climbing Clematis collection. We're mostly using the ones from this stamp and die set. This is the Clematis Birdhouse and Trellis. I love how these pieces come together to just make a very beautiful card. Plus you have these two cute little birdies. So with this, I cut my elements. The trellis, we're going to use a little bit in a unique. We're going to use you can cut your card base, just have a little hinge on the end. We stamped and embossed this with just kind of a white embossing powder. And we're going to go ahead and layer this second piece. So you can really adjust the length of this just based on what you want to do with it. So you can use your hot glue or just a liquid glue, whatever you prefer, and just go ahead and layer this on top. Now I am using and lining this up so that it matches the straight edges on the bottom of the card. So that's just a very soft background. I color this in very lightly with the cactus flower, and at this point you're ready to add your birdhouse. Now since this has an opening of lattice, I want to put a piece of cardstock in between so I don't accidentally glue my card shut, which it looks like I should have done that before I did that one piece because it was wanting to stick a little bit. So that just adds a little bit of protection in there, and then you can go back and you can layer your card. So you can add foam dots, you can add just your hot glue, whatever you want to do. But the first thing you're going to add is just this birdhouse. So you can position that. We'll add this pretty much in this area right here. And then you can add as many flowers as you like. Each time I do this, I do it a little bit differently in my arranging. So you can really have some fun and recreate yours however you want. But we're just going to go ahead and add these very quickly. You could do a bunch of flowers, or you could just settle with a couple sizes. So we'll do this one. We'll go back, add maybe another small one in this side. And I'll just kind of layer that in. Let's put a little small one down in here as well. And then you can kind of fill in with the larger leaves from the clematis in the area that you feel like needs that additional clematis in there. So we're going to go ahead and put a little dot of glue in this section and kind of squeeze this large clematis over to the side. And I'm going to hinge this clematis background just a little bit here so that's not flopping open. You can always go back and wipe off the excess glue. Just for the sake of time today, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to add another little flower kind of in that section. So we're just going to go ahead and add this and put that petal in there. And then you can finish off with some leaves. So you can add as many leaves as you want. You can also just kind of cut them off, trim them a little bit smaller if you need to, so they're not quite as large. And if you do that, you'll just basically splice it in half, which is very easy to do. So we'll go ahead and add one right behind this flower in here. Just adds a little bit extra elements of those leaves in green, and you'll just continue to do that until that is completely filled. You can add your sentiments, you can add those beautiful little birdies in there as well, and you're good to go with this card. I can't wait to share these beautiful samples of what you can do with the clematis. So once again, the clematis stamp and die has 3 different flower sizes plus the leaves. It has your clematis die that cuts those out beautifully along with the mold that shapes them for you so you don't have to hand shape those. This is just another beautiful way that you can cluster these together with unique colors. I love all the different color combinations with these. You can make them super dimensional. You can use less dimension. You can use beautiful rock candy stamens, and you can really experiment with lots of vibrant color combinations all the way to very soft color combinations as well. I love how this bird cage card captures the little birdies, and here's another one of those beautiful soft color combinations, double layer of the flower on that one. Moving on to card samples made with the Clematis Birdhouse and Trellis Stamp and Die set. Again, this one has your birdhouse, your clematis lattice. Oh my gosh, that's a rhyme. Okay, here we go with the little birdies. They look like they've had lots of delicious food. In this one, there are stunning samples of what you can do with it. You can pair two little bird houses. You can also layer out in the background. I want you to notice this. There's another stamp and die set that really brings it together. It's called our Clematis spray. It has the border and it has these small and large arches that really pairs it very well when you're adding dimensional flowers on top. And that's what's used in the background. So you can stamp it, put it in the background, and then add accent flowers on top, which is really pretty. Here's another one with that birdhouse paired with a decorative die. So if you have decorative dies, and then you can also use that Clematis spray and just add parts of it to the background. So that's what I love about that one, is you can cut it apart. You can do lots of versatile things with it. Here you have a large lattice, and it's more spread out, so it creates more of that garden theme. Here's one that's very simple in an oval, which I love how that one comes together. Here are some done in foam, so you can do a very single dimensional flowers as well with that. Here's one paired with a gate. Love how all these colors pair beautifully together. Here's one using that lattice background, very similar to what we used on the first card, except this one creates an arch and an opening, so you kind of have that gateway look. Isn't that stunning? It's paired on top of that Clematis spray as well. Last but not least, we have a couple more. Here is how that Clematis spray looks just in an opening of your card center. You can do 1, 2, you can do a couple of them, lots of variations. I love how if you kind of create that cutting of an opening into the paper panels, and we'll get to the paper in just a little bit, but you can add that decorative accent, add these clematis on the side, and then just add a couple in there too. So lots of variations on what you can use and how you can pair these together. Like I said, with the paper, you have those beautiful color combinations that really pulls everything together. And what lots of crafters like to do is they like to get a couple paper pads so that they have a couple to cut from, one to look at and enjoy. Using these tips and techniques will allow you to recreate the Climbing Clematis the easy way. Plus, as you saw in the samples, you can layer them beautifully to recreate other flowers. If you don't have this collection yet, I've added the links below for quick and easy ordering. Thank you so much for watching today. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to be subscribed, and we'll see you next time. Bye!